Welcome to Spelling List 3. This is an alternative spelling list for the Logic of English Essentials Curriculum Lesson 3. To begin, we need to learn 4 new phonograms. The first phonogram is Go ahead and say it with me. The second one is E, A. How many sounds in E, A? That's right, there are 3 sounds. Go ahead and say those. E, A. Then we have OR and SH. Very good. Now, we will be using these 4 phonograms along with the phonograms we learned in lists 1 and 2 to write today's spelling words. We also have a new spelling rule, which you can learn in Lesson 3 of the Logic of English Essentials curriculum. We will also be covering it during the spelling list this week. Our very first word is thunderstorm. Last night, there was a large thunderstorm. How many syllables in thunderstorm? 3. The first syllable is thun. Let's sound it out together. N. The second syllable is der, d-er. And the last syllable is storm, s-t or m. Go ahead and write thunderstorm. All right, now help me to write it. Sound it out with me as I write it. The first syllable is thun. N. The second syllable is der. D-er. And the last syllable is storm. S-t or m. How will we mark thunderstorm? Well, we'll underline the th and the and the or. Once again, we underline these phonograms to train our eyes that these letters are working together to say one sound. And for me personally, this has revolutionized how I see words because I'm able to see the letters that are grouped together. The second word is belong. Do you belong to the same club? Belong. How many syllables in belong? 2. The first syllable is B, B-E. The second syllable is long, ul-ah-ng. Go ahead and write belong. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is B, B-E. The second syllable is long, ul-ah-ng. And help me to mark this word. We're going to underline the ng, and then you'll notice the E is saying its name. This is our new spelling rule for the week, and the rule is A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. And here you'll see that the E is at the end of the syllable, and therefore it's saying its name, or its long sound. And we'll mark it by drawing a line over it. This is how dictionaries mark the long sound of a vowel, and we will do the same to remind us that it's saying its long sound. The third word is seaweed. The seaweed washed up on shore in the large waves. How many syllables in seaweed? 2. Very good. The first syllable is C. Let's sound it out together. S-E. This is an E-A. And the second syllable is weed. W-E. This will be an E-double-E-D. Go ahead and write seaweed. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is C. S-E. And the second syllable is weed. W-E-D. And help me to mark it. We'll underline the E and we'll underline the E. Now notice in seaweed, this is a compound word, and we have the word sea, meaning ocean, and then weed, meaning a plant, and they come together to form seaweed. I'd also like you to notice we use the E-A phonogram here. If we used an E-double-E to spell see, we would have a different word, a homophone, that means I see something. But English, being that it's full of homophones, often uses the phonograms that have, or the multiple spellings that can be used in English. They use those to distinguish homophones and distinguish meaning. So this sort of sea means the ocean. So we'll cross this one out so that we don't get confused. The fourth word is clerk. The clerk at the store handed me the check. Clerk. How many syllables in clerk? 1. And let's sound it out together. K. This is a k. S. Ul. This is the of her. K. Here we have the tall k or a k. Go ahead and write clerk. And now help me to write clerk. K. Ul. K. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the The next word is cruel. He was very cruel to the dog. How many syllables in cruel? 2. The first syllable is crew. K, u. This is an u, u, The second syllable is l, ul. Go ahead and write crew, l. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is crew, k, u. The second syllable is l, ul. Now notice the U is saying the sound oo in this word. And the U actually has 2 long sounds, U and oo. Say those with me right now. U, oo. What do you notice is the same about the sounds U and oo? That's right, they both have a oo sound in them. And what's different about them? Well, the U sound has a y in it. And oftentimes in English, we drop that y sound with the long U sound because it would be very difficult to say. Just try to say cruel. It would be hard to put the y in there. So this is actually a long U sound, and we'll mark it with the long sign, and it says cruel, cruel. The next word is season. It is hunting season in Minnesota. How many syllables in season? 2. The first syllable is C, S, E. This is an E at A. The second syllable is zon, S, Z. This is a S, Z, A, N. Go ahead and write season. And help me to write it. The first syllable is C, S, E. The second syllable is zon, Z, A, N. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the E. And what sound is Z saying in season? It's saying its second sound, Z. So we'll write a little 2 over it to remind us that it's saying its voiced sound, Z. The next word is humor. She has a great sense of humor. How many syllables in more? 2. The first syllable is hue, you. The second syllable is more, or. Go ahead and write more. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is hue, you, and the second syllable is more, or. And how will we mark it? We'll draw a line over the U because here it's saying its long sound, hue, and we'll underline the or. The next word is tornado. There was a tornado in Missouri last week. How many syllables in tornado? 3. The first syllable is tor, t, or. The second syllable is nay, n, a. And the third syllable is do, d, o. Go ahead and write tornado. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is tor, t, or. The second syllable is nay, n, a. And the third syllable is do, d, o. And how will we mark it? We'll put a line under the or. And then why did the A say its name in tornado? You're right, it's because it's at the end of the syllable. So how will we mark it? We'll put a line over it. And why did the O say its name? Also because it's at the end of the syllable. And what is the rule? The rule is A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. The next word is forest. The campers pitched their tent in the middle of the forest. How many syllables in forest? 2. The first syllable is for, f, or. The second syllable is est, est. Go ahead and write forest. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is for, f, or. And the second syllable is est. Est. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the or. The next word is nonstick. Use the nonstick pan when cooking the eggs. How many syllables in non-stick? 2. The first syllable is non. Let's sound it out. N, ah, n. And the second syllable is stick. S, t, I, k. Go ahead and write non-stick. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is non. N, ah, n. And the second syllable is stick. S, t, I, k. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the 2-letter k. Now, do you remember from the last list, why can you use 2-letter k in nonstick? That's right, because it's before a single short vowel. What is the root word in nonstick? It's stick. And stick means it attaches or adheres to something. And what is something that is non-stick? It means it does not stick. So non means not or does not. The next word is expert. Ask the expert for advice. How many syllables in expert? 2. The first syllable is X. Go ahead and sound it out with me. X. And the second syllable is pert. The of her, t. Go ahead and write expert. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is X, X, and the second syllable is pert, t. And how will you mark it? You'll underline the Very good. The next word is secret. I have a secret to tell you. How many syllables in secret? 2. The first syllable is C. Let's sound it out together. S-E. The second syllable is cret. K. This will be a k, s, et. Go ahead and write secret. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is C, S-E. The second syllable is cret. K, et. And how will we mark secret? That's right, we'll put a line over the E. Why did the E say its name at the end of the syllable in secret? That's right, because A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. The next word is cockpit. The pilot climbed into the cockpit. How many syllables in cockpit? 2. The first syllable is cock. K. This is a k, s. Ah, k. Notice what kind of k we have here. And the second syllable is pit. P, it. Go ahead and write cockpit. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is cock. K. Ah, k. And the second syllable is pit. P, it. And how will you mark it? You'll underline the k. Now, why could we use a 2-letter k in cockpit? That's right, because it's before a single short vowel. The next word is punishment. Her punishment was to do extra chores. How many syllables in punishment? Pun-ish-ment. 3. The first syllable is pun. P-a-n. The second syllable is ish. Ish. The third syllable is meant. M-a-n-t. Go ahead and write pun-ish-ment. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is pun. P-a-n. The second syllable is ish. Ish. And the third syllable is meant. M-a-n-t. And how will we mark punishment? We'll underline the sh. What is the root word of punishment? That's right, it's punish. And punishment turns it, or adding the suffix ment, turns it into a noun. From a verb, punish, into the noun, punishment. The next word is frequent. The bus made frequent stops. How many syllables in frequent? 2. The first syllable is free, f-er-e. The second syllable is quent, qu-e-n-t. Go ahead and write frequent. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is free, f-er-e, and the second syllable is quent, qu-e-n-t. And how will we mark it? We'll put a line over the E. And why did the E say its name? That's right, because it's at the end of the syllable. Let's say the rule together again. A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. And then we'll underline the qu. Now, notice Q always needs a U. U is not a vowel here, so this is the phonogram qu. The next word is symbol. The dove is a symbol of peace. How many syllables in symbol? 2. The first syllable is sim, s-i. This is a y-i-i-e. Ball, b-a-l. Go ahead and write symbol. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is sim, s-i, and the second syllable is ball, b-a-l. Now notice, with this word, you're going to have to remember that we use the y-i-e here in symbol. Sim is actually the root meaning same. And so if you have a symbol, it is the same or it represents something else. And then also in this word, we have this sound where we're exaggerating the aw sound, ball, where we really hear the sound, which is the schwa sound, the unaccented sound. But I believe it's really helpful if you can create a picture of the word with your ears or by saying it really clearly, symbol, and that will help you to remember how to spell it. The next word is pollen. She is allergic to the pollen. How many syllables in pollen? 2. The first syllable is pol, p-a-l. The second syllable is len, l-e-n. Go ahead and write pollen. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is pol, p-a-l, and the second syllable is len, l-e-n. And then we get pollen. The next word is robust. The bike is built with a robust frame. How many syllables in robust? 2. The first syllable is ro, o. The second syllable is bust, b-u-s-t. Go ahead and write robust. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is ro, o, and the second syllable is bust, b-u-s-t. And how do we mark it? We'll put a line over the O. Why did the O say its name? You're right, because it's at the end of the syllable. Say the rule with me. A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. The next word is unimportant. That note is unimportant. You may throw it away. How many syllables in unimportant? 4. Very good. The first syllable is un, n. The second syllable is im, I, m. The third syllable is por, p, or. And the fourth syllable is tant, t, a, n, t. Go ahead and write unimportant. Be sure that you're sounding it out as you write it. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is un, n. The second syllable is im, I, m. The third syllable is por, p, or. And the fourth syllable is tant, t, a, n, t. And how will we mark unimportant? That's right, we'll underline the or. Now, what is the root of unimportant? That's right, it's important. And if we add un, it means not important. The next word is monument. We went to visit the Washington Monument. How many syllables in monument? 3. The first syllable is mon, n. The second syllable is you, and the third syllable is ment, nt. Go ahead and write monument. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is mon, n. The second syllable is you, and the third syllable is ment, nt. How will we mark monument? We'll put a line over the U. And what is the rule? Say it with me. A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. The next word is squeamish. Emily is squeamish about touching the worm. How many syllables in squeamish? 2. The first syllable is squee, e. This is an E-A. The second syllable is mish, ish. Go ahead and write squeamish. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is squee, e. And the second syllable is mish, ish. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the qu, the e, and the sh, and we get squeamish. The next word is thermometer. The nurse took her temperature with the thermometer. How many syllables in thermometer? 4. Very good. The first syllable is thir, th-er. The second syllable is mom, The third syllable is e. And the fourth syllable is ter, t-er. Go ahead and write thermometer. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is thir, th-er. The second syllable is mom, The third syllable is e. And the fourth syllable is ter, t-er. Now, how will we mark thermometer? We'll underline the th and the Why did the e say its name here? It's at the end of the syllable, and A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. And then we have the Now, we need to look at this word a little bit more closely because we have 2 roots here. Do you know what therm means? Therm means heat. If you think of a thermos, it keeps the heat in. Or a thermometer, it measures the heat or the temperature. And what does a meter? If you think about a meter stick or a meter, it's something that measures. So here we have something that measures temperature. And these are both Latin roots. And in Latin, there's often an O that connects the 2 roots together. It's kind of a connector O between the 2 roots. Let's try another one that's related to this. We have the word thermostat. Please turn the thermostat up to 70 degrees. How many syllables in thermostat? 3. The first syllable is therm, The second syllable is o, and the third syllable is stat, st, at. Go ahead and write thermostat. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is therm, The second syllable is o, and the third syllable is stat, st, at. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the th and the And why did the o say its name? It's at the end of the syllable, and the rule is A, E, O, U. Usually say their names at the end of the syllable. Now here you'll notice we also have the root therm, which means heat. Very good. And we have that connector O, and then stat. Stat is something that controls something and keeps it at a static temperature or at the same status. And so here we have something that keeps the temperature the same, and that's what a thermostat does. The next word is speedometer. How fast did the speedometer say you were going? Let's sound it out. Or how many syllables do we have? We have speedometer. Now notice we're going to exaggerate this one for spelling purposes. We have speedometer. 4. The first syllable is speed. Sp. E. This will be an E-double-E. D. The second syllable is O. The third syllable is me. E. And the fourth syllable is ter. T-er. Go ahead and write speedometer. And then help me write it. The first syllable is speed. Sp. E. D. The second syllable is O. The third syllable is me. And the fourth syllable is ter. T-er. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the E. O said its name at the end of the syllable. E said its name at the end of the syllable. And er. Now, we say speedometer, and you'll notice that we don't enunciate all of these vowels clearly, but we can see that the roots here, the root is speed. Why do you think the root is speed with speedometer? That's right, because a speedometer measures your speed. And then meter, once again, means to measure. And then we have the same connector O that is found oftentimes between these Latin roots. So the way that we can remember how to spell speedometer is to think about the roots speed and meter with that connector O together. And that also tells us exactly what a speedometer does. The last word is orthodontist. My sister visited the orthodontist. How many syllables in orthodontist? 4. The first syllable is or. The second syllable is tho, th, o. The third syllable is don, d, a, n. And the fourth syllable is tist, t, I, s, t. Go ahead and write orthodontist. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is or. The second syllable is tho, th, o. The third syllable is don. And the fourth syllable is tist, t, I, s, t. So how do we mark the word orthodontist? We'll underline the or, the th, and we'll put a line over the O. And why did the O say its name? Because it's at the end of the syllable. What is the rule? A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. Now, orthodontist is also comprised of 2 roots. We have the root orth, or ortho, which means to straighten. Just like a orthopedic physician straightens broken bones, an orthodontist straightens teeth. Then we have the root dont, which is actually the same root as dent, meaning teeth. So a dentist is someone who works with your teeth, and an orthodontist is someone who straightens your teeth. Now, thank you so much for joining me for Spelling List 3, and I hope you'll be able to join us for Spelling List 4.